Can you tell us about your name, what business you have, and some of the things that you've done in entrepreneurship?
My name is Thuan Nguyen. I founded a company, Loan Factory. It's a mortgage broker, but I founded it 17 years ago. Been up and down a lot, but now we are in the position of expand the company nationwide, and we have so much more potential right now.
Can you give the audience a little context about just how successful your business has been? Because I know you guys have hit some really crazy numbers.
I myself personally become #1 loan officer in the country 2 years in a row, 2020 and 2021. My own personal production is 11,000 transactions in 2 years. In 2 years only, 11,000 transactions. The whole company, we double that amount. And that is because of the pandemic. You know, rate dropped so much and people refinance. We seized that opportunity to expand, to grow. And now we are in 48 states across the country.
So 11,000 transactions those few years. How much volume did you personally do?
I myself personally, in 1 year, the top year, 2021, is $2.4 billion. But now we are transitioned to be, in the past, the whole company focused on my own production, mostly. But now the company model to help loan officers. The goal is to have all the resources, the technology, the support to help thousands of loan officers instead of just helping myself. So that is the new company model.
Going back a little bit, I want to hear your story from like the very beginning.
Yes.
Can you tell us about your whole story? Because
Sure.
I think the audience is going to find that really interesting.
It's a kind of long story. When I came here, 1992.
1992.
When
Okay.
I was 20 years old.
Okay, that's when I was born.
And back then there was no internet, barely internet. AOL back then. Some older people will recognize AOL back then. But then back then you have to dial in to use the internet. You have to call the number, dial in, modem. It's crazy. But back then I did not speak English when I came here, and no TV in Vietnam. There was no TV, so I did not get any exposure to the outside world. So I didn't speak any language at all. I mean English at all. And it's tough when I came here without speaking the language. It's hard. I'm kind of late already to learn another language. So it was challenging. I went to college, community college here in Orange County, and then get admitted into UC Berkeley. But then I studied business in UC Berkeley, Hart School of Business, which is a very good school. But then even after school, I did not find success. I couldn't find a good place to work for. I bounced off a few companies. I didn't really happy with what I was doing. Eventually I quit. I stay home, but then I figured out, back then I bought a new house, my first home. And I saw the loan officer that helped me. See, he didn't do really much and she had good money. So I say, I can do the same thing. That's what triggered me to study and become real estate broker. Actually, I started now as a real estate broker. And it's kind of weird for me because I did everything myself. I basically go online, register for the class, finish it, and register for the exam and get the license myself without any experience, without any mentor, anyone guiding me at all. After I got the license, I just opened a company.
Yeah, a real estate brokerage.
Yeah, real estate broker.
Okay.
And for the first year, I did not do well. Of course, nobody teach me, nobody guide me. I didn't have any customer base. Basically, everything's so new and difficult. As you know, real estate always difficult. So I decided to went back to work for a startup company in Silicon Valley. But at the same time, I still working on mortgage part-time. And I was really determined to work hard and to excel. So I worked really hard. I serve my client well. They appreciate that. They see that I work hard for them. And that's how the client, they're happy with my service. They keep coming back and they refer their family and friends to me. So after about 3.5 years like that, my side business, which is mortgage, keep growing. And then I decided not to do real estate because with real estate, you have to be available anytime. And because I work for a corporate, I didn't have time to show the house. I decided to stay with mortgage. And with that 3.5 years, my side business, when my mortgage business has picked up a lot. The reason is right after 2008, the rate recessions, housing price collapse and rate keep dropping and dropping. So people keep refinancing.
Okay.
And that's how I pick up so many clients. My business did so well, so I decided to quit my full-time job and focus on mortgage exclusively. But then, like many other loan mortgage broker, most of us stay in one business, one office, and try to do well. You're lucky if you do well, because there's so much competition. And I was happy, I did well. But then I used to live in Orange County. My family live here. So I figured out, right now I live in San Jose, Northern California. So I figured out I should open up an office here. A lot of Vietnamese here, and I used to live here. I have a lot of friends here. So I opened up the business down here, a second office.
Okay.
And it was not easy. The competition is too much. Not only that, I'm not living locally, so it's difficult for me
Hard to manage.
to build a relationship, to get the clients. And you know, when you have the staff, they don't have the kind of energy and the hungry that typically the owner has, right? As the owner, you care for your business more. You go out there, you try to bring in the business. You talk to realtor, you talk to the clients, you do things to grow your business. But because I live so far away, it was difficult. And every month we lost about $10,000 for 3.5 years. We almost shut it down. And very interestingly that, you know, in Southern California, a lot of realtor, they will refer you business, but they want kickback.
That's illegal,
It's
right?
illegal, correct.
Yeah.
It's illegal. And a lot of realtor call me and offer me because they know that I do good service, good price, good rate, and they like me, but they still want some money. So they asked that, you know, give me something, get something. And I said I cannot because it's wrong and I might lose my license.
Right.
But I know that many others are doing it. They're willing to pay. It was a tough choice. Even my staff told me that, Thuan, how about just close one eyes and just pay them a little bit. We still make money and they are happy and the client happy too. Better than nothing, right? We have some better than nothing. But I said, no, we cannot do it. We have to draw the line because I know that the moment if we do that, we'll get into the habit and it's not good.
I see.
So I decided not to. Even though we had so much pressure. My staff just sitting there, nothing to do. Basically, you know, just take the client and pay some little money, but we still earn something. But I said no. So it was challenging. But luckily, after, you know, holding on for 3.5 years, business start picking up. People start realizing that we do business ethically. We try to help the client. We don't do under the table. And that's why they trust us. In fact, a lot of them come to us. Even the realtor, the one that asks for money, they come to us because they only trust us. They don't trust anyone else. But they come to us, they know that we are good.
Right.
We would not do that.
So by not taking that money at the start when offered like, hey, give us a kickback, even though it was illegal, that really paid off in the
Exactly.
future.
And then we stand out. There's so many mortgage brokers, but we are standing out. We're the one that do business ethically. We don't give kickback and all that.
Yeah.
So they see that. Plus, we have the technology. From the beginning, we build our own technology. So the consumer, the realtor can go to our website and check rate. And many, I think most 90% of the brokers out there, even lenders out there, they don't let the consumer see the rate. But we show everyone the rate
Very
on our
transparent.
website. Exactly,
Okay.
very transparent.
Yeah.
And people like that. People say, oh, a consumer go to us, they trust us right away because they see our rate on our website. And every day rate change, they can see it. Well, that's how we build trust. But then most other broker, they don't have the technology. They don't show the rate and people don't trust them. You know, wherever you say, nobody believes you. Because everyone can say one thing. We call that bait and switch, right? A lot of broker or loan officer quote one rate just to get the borrower apply. And then when we lock the rate, we lock different rate. And then when the consumer say, why, what happened? And then the broker can easily blame the market change, everyday rate change. Or they can blame, oh, because your credit score is not 740. There are many things they can blame. And the consumer, of course, they don't know much about mortgage. It's complicated. So they cannot do anything. So that's why the consumer is very afraid and scared when they choose a broker or realtor, you know that. So that's why they feel comfortable working with Loan Factory. And that's when we turn things around. We have so many clients coming in. We advertise on local Vietnamese radio. We do talk show and to allow, you know, the listener, when they listen to my talk show, they can call in and ask questions. So I answer them on air and they like it. It start growing like that. And then we're doing so well, we expand to Houston, Dallas, Georgia, Florida. We keep expanding. And then at that time, the pandemic hit, rate dropped so much more. So we keep expanding nationwide. But then rate increased the last 2 years. Rate shot up really high. Just like any other lender or mortgage broker, most of the company would either lay off or shut down because there's no more business. And I was in the same situation. I had to do something, right? Otherwise, I would be losing so much money. A lot of staff. It was difficult for me to let my staff go because we worked together for so long. And they are the one that helped me grow my business and make me rich, right? And I feel bad. And also, we work so hard to build up the company. If we let the staff go, we have nothing left. So I was under a lot of stress, figure out how to, you know, survive without laying off staff. So I try really hard. Try to bring in more business to offset the expense. But I realized one thing, there's the most effective and quick, the fastest way to bring in more business, they partner with realtor. But realtor out there, they also suffer. When the market rate went up so much like that, there's not many transactions going on. There's no inventory right now. So it's very difficult. Even though I was able to build some relationship, but it's impossible to bring in so much business right away. So I pivot. I was thinking the only way to build relationship with a lot of realtor is that I need a lot of loan officer to help me. I myself cannot work with thousands of realtors.
Right, you can't build relations.
But if I have hundreds or thousands of loan officers working with me, then they can go out and build relationship. So that's what I changed my vision. We decided to work with loan officer, and because we build the technology, we build the process, the staff, everything's so good already. We just partner with the loan officer to help them. We know what they are suffering. The loan officer out there, they are suffering a lot too because they don't have good rate, they don't have good technology, they don't have enough help, the processing, they don't know how to do marketing. There's a lot of things they don't know how to do. So with my expertise, my knowledge, and all the resources that I have, I can offer them so that they can go out there and win. I just give them all kind of weapons so to help them win the battle against the competitor. So that is what we are doing, and so far it's so good. We grow the company from like less than 50 loan officers to over 500 within 1 year. And this year we aim to hit 3,000 loan officers.
I want to rewind a little bit and talk a little bit more about the start. You seem to be the type of person that will take action really, really fast. How'd that come to be? Is it like your upbringing? Is it your culture? Why are you like that?
No, it's not culture. I am the position that I have to make quick decisions. Well, lately I move really fast. Everything I do, I move really fast.
Yeah.
Because in the past, I was not like that. But I believe that everything is trained. You train to be a business person. You train to be a leader. You train to be the CEO. You train to run your business. So everything is trained. It's how much you want to be. So in the past, I was not like this. But lately, just another example, another story. I built my own software for the loan officer, for the mortgage broker to run their business. I built, my software was the best out there. It's all in one. It has the LOS, POS, pricing engine, marketing, CRM. It has everything in it, all in one. And there's no other software out there that cover everything like us. And it's built by me. It's built for me. And that's why it worked really well. I know the software that I need, so I built it. So I own two companies. Loan Factory is a mortgage broker, but I also own Moso Software, which is the software. Even though I had the best software out there, but I got distracted during the pandemic. I focused too much on my mortgage company, making money. I kind of didn't focus on my software company. And that's why we fall behind and some other software advance and stay ahead of us. So I figure out it's too late now. Too late. Some of the software, people use it, they get used to it, they don't want to change. So we are late already. So it's a lesson for me. We see the opportunity, but we didn't take action quickly. So now it's late. So I learned that lesson, and now I see another opportunity for my mortgage company. And I want to see this opportunity. I don't want to be late again. I don't want to fail again. That's why I want to move really fast, take action really fast, and I have to hit my goal really fast too. Otherwise, the opportunity will go away. Yeah, I make decisions really fast.
How'd you get your first 100 clients?
For me, it's even more difficult because I started out with no experience, no mentor. I just do it, and it's really difficult. Actually, the first loan is for myself, so I learned a little bit, but I didn't know anything. Basic term, I don't even know. But luckily, I was patient. I called the lender and keep asking questions, and they helped me. That's how I learned. But I realized that in any business, especially mortgage or professional business, you need to be an expert in your domain, right? You need to know a lot so that you can advise your client. Imagine you are an attorney and you're not good. How can you advise your client? How can you win, right? I realized that. So I focus on learning. I focus on being a good loan officer. And being a good loan officer requires a lot of things. Of course, knowledge, but then also experience. Also, you need to somehow let your client know that you care for them. You work hard for them, right? There's many criteria, not only one. Initially, I offer my clients super low rate to win them. I did not worry about profit or commission. I'm willing to make $500 or $1,000 per transaction. I don't care.
Wow, okay.
Or even I do it for free. I do it because Because my goal is not money. My goal is to help other people so that I can learn, so that I can have the experience. The more clients I have, the more I learn, the more experience I have. And not only that, these clients, after they work with me, they see the benefit. I give them the best rate. The rate are so low. I give them the best service. I work so hard for them. They see it. So after we close the transaction, they always remember me. They will come back to me, or they will tell their friends and family to go to me. And that's how it was successful. I know a lot of business owner or loan officer, they expected, oh, I have to make $3,000 or $5,000 of a transaction. If less, I wouldn't do it. But then it's just your choice, right? My choice is I'd rather have more clients and make less and look at the long run. I'd rather work harder initially. Of course, in any business, getting the first 100 clients is difficult.
Yeah.
And getting your business stabilized and profitable is always difficult. And we all know people always saying that when you run a business, you always have to lose money in the first 1 or 2 years, right? So just accept the fact that you are new, you don't have enough clients, you have to lose money, then accept that fact and happy and help the clients so that you can have a long, better future.
So how were you able to get through that fear of being able to lose money at the start or not make that much? Like, you're wise now, but back then you're just starting out. How were you able to do that?
It's just the mentality, the mindset. If you want that, you can do it. I'm willing to do it for free. I'm willing to. So that helped a lot. Money is not what I'm looking for. I'm looking to be a good loan officer. I'm looking to have a lot of clients who love me so that they can refer more clients to me.
Yeah.
So we need to set the goal. You have to, there's a trade-off, right? It's just simple like that. My goal is to have a lot of clients. Just like right now, my goal is to have 3,000 loan officers. So I'm willing to lose money now, running the business, working so hard to get the goal of 3,000 loan officers. I learned a lot from Amazon. They lose business for 10 years, and now they're one of the biggest company in the world.
How would you actually find people to do loans for though? Like, I get that works for the word of mouth to get repeat business and for them to get or refer people, but how did you get the first handful of people?
You need to be active. You need to focus on what you want. I know a lot of loan officer or realtor, they know that they run their business, but they don't work full time or they don't know what to do. They're afraid of this and that. A simple thing, like I talk to a lot of realtor and loan officers, the basic thing is you have to be on social media, and they cannot even do it. They're afraid, they're shy, there's so many excuses. And all going out there to build relationship, to meet realtor, to meet loan officer, to meet insurance agent. You need to go out there and build relationship, but people don't even do that. They cannot do it. So that's why they fail. It's just that you have to do the right thing. And I think that most of us know exactly what we need to do, but they're just afraid or they make an excuse. That's why they cannot get there. I see that most of the people in this business, if you're hungry and you really work hard, you'll be successful. I don't see any reason why not. When you work hard, you learn, your client can see that. But if you're lazy, the client can see that too. And nowadays, for example, the client, before they choose you, they research, right? It's a big transaction, a house, hundreds of thousands of dollars. So they do research. They look up your review. You have no review or some bad, 2-3 review, bad review. Why would they choose you? There's so much competition. There's so many thousand good realtor and loan officer out there, and they have a lot of good reviews too. Basically, you have to have a lot of reviews online. You have to be active on social media. You have to show to the consumer that you are successful. You have a lot of clients. Like every month you have 3-4 clients at least. They are happy. You need to show that to your potential clients. How can you be successful if they search for you and they couldn't find you? But they find all the loan officer and realtor out there so active, so successful. And then of course they choose a successful realtor or loan officer, and they will not pick you, right?
So you're saying marketing is a huge portion of generating leads and clients.
Yeah, those are just the basic. And if you want to do well, do better, then you have to spend money. A lot of people, a lot of realtor and loan officer, they make money, but they don't spend money on advertisement. They don't promote themselves. Then how can you be successful? In any business, you have to spend money on advertisement.
What do you guys spend money on for advertisements? What type of things do you guys do?
A lot. I myself try everything. I want to have more clients. Every business want to have more clients. And in order to have more clients, there's so many ways you can get new clients, right? So I try almost everything. I try put it on traditional newspaper, magazine. I try on radio. I try TV. During the pandemic, I went crazy. I advertise. I do talk show and regular advertisement on radio, in Vietnamese radio. I do Indian radio. Wow. I do Hispanic radio. I do talk show. I do crazy. And then I even do billboard on the freeway. Huge billboard. I have 15 billboards across the country. I spend so much money.
Can you estimate during that time, how much money were you spending per month on ads?
500,000 a month. Because during that time, the customer is everywhere. Everyone refinance.
Yeah.
So I figure out that $1 I spend, I can earn back $3. So marginal, right? The more you spend, the more money you make. So why not keep spending? So I spend so much money so that I can get more clients and grow my business.
Obviously, this is different for every industry, but for the mortgage industry, of all those things you tried, what worked the best?
I would say radio for me. I have a chance to educate the consumer, tell them what are the good program out there, the benefit. I show them, I update them the rates up and down. I show them how to buy house, how to invest, I educate them. And I even allow them to, let's say they have questions, they call in, I answer on air. So live, and then other consumer, other audience, they listen to my advice, then they start trusting me. I become an expert, I give advice.
Yeah.
And when they trust me, they know me. So when they need mortgage, they call me. That's the best way to build a relationship. Because if you spend money on ads for 30 seconds a minute, people don't know you or they don't pay attention. So that's why everything has to be based on relationship. And you need to somehow let the consumer know that you are an expert, you are good. And not only that, but you have the best rate for them. And I can prove that too. We have the technology. We can tell the client, go to our website, check the rate, it's there. And I encourage consumer to shop around. I challenge all of them to shop around to save money for their benefit.
So then they're like, why would this guy tell us to shop around if he doesn't have the best rate, right?
Exactly, exactly. I even show all the consumer my rate on my website. I try to use the psychology too. Naturally, people hide think that you are not good, but anything you are good, you show off, right? You are rich, you buy a nice car, you drive around, you buy a nice house, you show off. I have good rate, that's why I show off. I want everyone to see it. And people that have high rate, they hide it. They don't let you know. As a consumer, for sure they don't let you know that they have high rate so that you can hook on and do loan with them. If they show you the rate, you shop around, you will go with another broker that have better rate. So it's natural. So I tell the consumer, I educate them that they should shop around. They should spend 30 seconds, go to my website, check the rate, and compare. It's only 30 seconds and save them tens of thousands of dollars.
Would you be willing to share how much money you have made in 1 month just from mortgages?
Good month or bad month?
Best month.
The best one, I make over $1 million a month.
In profit?
Yeah.
What do you do with all that money?
To be honest with you, I invest in property.
Properties?
Yes.
Okay, why
so
properties?
In the past, I just set my personal goal, like, okay, every year I have to buy one property. That's the past. I accumulate property. With money, what you gonna use? I cannot put it in the bank and let it sit there and lose value. And property is the best way to fight against inflation, and then it appreciate, and also I have income, residual or passive income. So that's why I invest in properties.
What kind of real estate portfolio do you have? How many properties do you have?
Mostly property in California and Florida.
Okay.
In California, we don't get a lot of return. The cash flow is not that good, but it's appreciated.
Right.
It's so good. Yeah, I'm happy with all the decisions I make.
Could you retire right now and be totally okay?
Of course, yes, 100%.
Why are you still so driven?
Because right now, my goal is not making money. First, I want to help other people, and then I want to see how good I can be, how big I can be.
Okay.
I want to test my ability. I want to see how far I can go.
How'd you come up with that number, 3,000?
I figure out it's a number that I want to set a big number, because if I set a low number, it's not good for me. And to be honest with you, this year we combined the two companies, the mortgage and the technology company. So now we become a startup company. And my plan is to raise money, become a startup company. So we're going to have stock. We want to roll like EXP, become a startup, not a traditional mortgage broker anymore. And one thing I realized, as you see in real estate, right? There are so many big companies, EXP, Keller Williams, Remax, Compass, there's so many big companies. With mortgage, there's none. There's only lender out there. And lender, they're suffering as well. There's no such thing like that in mortgage. And I even realized a bigger problem, that there are so many consumers that need mortgage, but they couldn't trust anyone when it's time to borrow money. There's a lot of banks out there that they can trust, but the bank, the rate are suck. They don't go to the bank. But then they go to little broker here and there. They don't trust either. Nobody have the technology. Nobody have the good rate to help them. The consumer don't trust loan officer. There's no trust going on. So, and the industry is so huge. The industry is so big, but nobody dominate. And I want to be the one. I call it Uber of mortgage. Just like Uber, before Uber, you want to go somewhere, you have to take taxi. You don't trust taxi. Security, and they rip you off and other thing, right? You don't feel secure. Right. You're afraid, even though there's a lot of taxi out there. But Uber come in, they become a marketplace. They match driver driver and rider, and they build a platform. So both will be happy. Consumer and rider will be happy. So I want to do the same. I want to build a platform. On one side, I have tens of thousands of loan officers. The other side, I have the consumer in America. They can come together. So I want to build a platform where consumer can go, like they go to Amazon to buy something. They can go to Loan Factory. They can look up who are the loan officer in the city, and they can review their background, their profile, how many years of experience, how many clients they have helped, how many reviews, 5-star review they get. They can review all that, and they can choose to call and meet up there in the same city. I want to create a marketplace to bring consumer and loan officer together. And in order to do that, I need to have a lot of loan officers to build a trust, right? If I'm a small company, nobody's going to trust me. But if I have 3,000 or 5,000 or 10,000 loan officer, then of course I'm somebody that people will look at and pay more attention.
How does the mortgage industry work in terms of like making money? So how do people make money as a loan originator?
There are three channels out there. Consumer, when they need mortgage, they can go to the bank. Of course, that's simple. And I think that most of the outside of the US, in Asia, that's the only choice, right? You need money, you go to the bank. But here in America, the market is efficient. The government is encouraged lending, helping the consumer to buy house. So we have a lot of lenders out there. They focus on lending and they do way better than the bank. So these lenders, they offer mortgage only. And the lender have two types. The lender that work directly with the consumer, we call that retail lender. And they have an army of loan officers working for them. We call that retail loan officers, work directly with the consumer. And then we have tens of thousands of mortgage broker. And mortgage broker is independent company, small company. They are broker. As a broker, they shop around. In any industry, broker shop around for you. And because the broker can shop around for you, they tend to give you better rate. They shop around. When you are able to shop around, you tend to have better rate, better price. Secondly, when you shop around, you have a lot of flexibility. With this lender say no, then I go to another lender. And thirdly, because you are a small broker, you run your business, you care for your client, you work harder. You try to grow your business. So we call that wholesale channel. We go to a broker will bring in the business. So that's how the consumer can work with a broker directly with the lender or work with the bank. That's three ways.
And in terms of compensation, can you tell the audience like how's that work?
Let's say the bank, they have to pay the employee, loan officer. So normally they pay 1% or less per transaction. The loan $400,000, they get paid $4,000, 1% or less. Same thing with retail loan officer. They make somewhere 1% to 1.5%. But the bank and the retail lender, their operation is cumbersome. There's a lot of layer. And the branch manager makes some money. The regional branch manager makes some money. The corporate keeps some money. Everyone make money. When they go to the consumer, the rate is really high. They have to charge higher rate. Otherwise, they don't make money. But the ironic is 75%, 70% of all loans in America is being done by retail lender or bank because they have good relationship with the realtor. So that relationship is hard to break. Consumer, when they need mortgage, they want to buy house, they trust the realtor. So they buy house with the realtor recommend to them to do loan with their preferred loan officer, and they've listened to it. And that's the way it is now, 70%. And that means 70% of the consumer end up with high interest rate. But if we work with broker have flexibility. They own their own business. So they can control. So like Loan Factory, we allow our loan officer to choose how much they want to earn, like the owner of their own business. So if they want to help their client, they can charge less so that the rate can be better. But some of the loan officers want to make more, then the rate is higher. That's why it's important for the consumer to shop around. No matter who they choose to apply with, they have to shop around to make sure that they have the good rate. So for broker, normally the range is about 1 to 2.5%.
2.5. Oh, okay.
So let's say $500,000.
That's a big range.
Yeah, $500,000. They can make $12,500. So it's a lot of money. It's a lot of money business, and that's why there's a lot of competition.
I remember I was in a very similar situation to you. I started my real estate brokerage, and then I realized I think loans are better, just because you don't have to like be there. You don't need to show homes. You don't need to do all that stuff, right? You can do it from the comfort of your office.
Exactly. That's why loan office. A lot of realtors now want to become loan officers because of many reasons. The first reason, the realtor, you have to be here to help your client. You cannot travel.
You have to dress well.
You have to dress up. You have to drive them around. It's a lot of work, and then you cannot travel. And more importantly, you cannot scale. It's really difficult. It's personal. You have to drive them. You have to talk to them. You cannot scale. But At Loan Factory here, we use technology, we can scale. And most of our loan officers work remotely. They can travel to Asia, they can travel the world. All they need is computer, that's it. So nowadays, we don't see our client anymore. After the pandemic, people don't have to come to the office anymore. So it's the perfect business, and that's why a lot of realtors want to become loan officers.
Being in the mortgage industry, you see a lot of tax returns, right? How are people making money these days? How are people, the ones that are making a lot and you're like, wow, how are they doing that?
When I look at the tax return, I know. But when I help my client, they have to tell me everything about their financial, their income, their job. And I know, of course, a lot of self-employed business, they make a lot of money, but on their tax return, they don't file a lot.
Not too much, right?
We know that. There's a lot of way to avoid tax or delay tax. There's a lot of tactics out there. And as a mortgage broker, I need to know how tax is being done. I need to look at it and know right away. So that is part of my profession. I need to be able to look at the tax return and determine their income, if they qualify or not. Yes.
Okay, because there's some things that they deduct that can sort of be added into their qualifying income.
Yes, like because it is one-time expense, and the lender, they allow the one-time item to be added back. Because one time we remodel your restaurant, you spend $200,000, and of course that offset in your income, and you will lose money. And the lender will look at it and they say, oh, this is one-time item. You're not going to remodel every year, so they allow that income to be used. And same thing as an investor. They say if you want to buy that business, you know that you lose money, but because of one-time item, that's why you lose. But if you exclude that, you make money, and that's why we can buy your business.
So what types of businesses are people running that make a lot, and what types of W-2 jobs seem to make a lot of money?
Yeah, to be honest with you, I see a lot of this. What I see is it's always good to be self-employed. I have a lot of clients who are working for corporate, high-tech engineer, software engineer. They make good income, 150, 200,000 easily. But most of them have one property because whatever they make, they pay tax. And then after tax, they keep spending here and there on their house, children, car. At the end, they cannot save money. And then those people, their mindset is different. Their mindset is they have a peaceful life, earning enough money, spending enough, spend them, and that's it. It's stable, it's good. But then when I help the self-employed borrowers, their mindset is completely different. All about making money, all about investing, all about future, become richer and richer. So they know how to save money. They know how to reduce their tax. They do that. They get cash. They reduce their tax. They know how to invest. They know what to invest, and they love to invest. So they end up having 3, 4, 5 houses easily. And yeah, I see this a lot. I mean, some even small, tiny self-employed business, they still manage to buy a few properties. If possible, try to own your business. And a realtor is same thing. As a realtor, you own your business. A loan officer, you own your own business. You have your own expense. You have your own marketing and advertisement. You go out there and bring in your clients and make money. So it's your business. And if you have the mindset that you need to make more money, you need to be successful, then you will be successful.
What does a day in the life look like for you? When you wake up, what do you do? What habits do you have?
Yes.
I'm really curious.
Yeah, I realized one thing is it's important to have a period of quiet time to concentrate, to focus. So I put the morning time is the best time. So I try to go to bed early, 10 o'clock. Try not to be past 10. 10 o'clock, I have to watch the time and get ready because I can wake up early. I can have 3-4 hour block of time. Focus, 100% focus and get things done. And when you focus, your productivity go up so much. You make better decisions.
So most of your big decisions are made in the morning?
Yes, everything in the morning. Everything. I get a lot of things done.
Okay.
Because during the day, so many things happen. The client call me, my staff call me, the partner call me, loan officer call me, lender call me. Everything, it's just too disrupt. So morning time is the best time. I block it out. Get focus on those periods. It's the best time. Basically, I work really hard. I would say at least 14 hours a day, 7 days a week. I work crazy. And because I work so hard, that's why I have to make sure I'm healthy. Otherwise, I will collapse anytime. So, and not only that, but when I talk to my partner, my lender, my staff, I need to show that I'm sharp, I'm healthy. I cannot show them that I'm tired, look bad and all that. It's just part of the business. So every day I try to put aside an hour, 2 hours working out, exercise. I have to do that.
It seems to be something that most entrepreneurs do.
We have to. We cannot skip it.
Well, there's some other high ROI activities that you do.
Yes. When you reach to this level, you tend to get so busy. So one thing is I try to leverage. I try to bring in a lot of help to help me. So that's one thing. And I cannot be cheap. I have to be willing to pay to hire good staff to help me, good talent. And secondly, I have to dedicate. I cannot suck into little thing here and there. I have to have a block of time to think, to have vision, to look for direction, look for bigger picture. So those are more important. If I don't aim high, if I don't try to find a solution to get the goal, then I keep doing little thing and I will not go where I want.
How do you run a team efficiently?
This is very difficult because humans tend to be slow, humans tend to be forgetful, and we get tired, we don't have energy and all that. So in order to run the team efficiently, I rely on many factors. First is the software. We build the software so that it will guide the staff, it will guide the employee to do things efficiently, and they don't have to remember too much.
So you have your like SOPs and systems built into the software?
Yeah, we build everything into the software, the workflow. And if we make any mistake, the staff making any mistake, we fix the software so that it won't happen again. And that's why we are so powerful, and our competitor cannot compete because we have the software. I invest a lot in software. I have over 30 software engineers working on it. That's the future. We even build AI, and our AI, soon we expect that the consumer can call in and fill our application over the phone. Machine will talk to the consumer, fill our application.
You think that's in the future for the mortgage industry?
For us, we can do that.
guys?
Hopefully in about 2-3 months. AI is so crazy. And then the next version, which also we aim to have it this year, is the consumer don't have to fill out application anymore. All they need to do is upload their tax return, pay stub, and bank statement, and then AI will read it, fill out application for us. So we change the way how mortgage is done, and that is through technology. So we also empower our staff. We try to encourage them to do better. Like in any profession, right? If you are an employee, you have no motivation, then they will not perform well. But if you give them an incentive, bonus, commission, then they work harder. Give them some upside and they will do better.
So what does the current structure look like for Loan Factory? Like how many employees do you have? How many contractors? How many total people do you have in the company?
We have over 550 loan officers, and we have about 100 staff to help. And we even have staff overseas.
Okay.
Vietnam, Philippines, and Colombia. Because, you know, the United States, right? There's a lot of different ethnic groups. Chinese, Vietnamese, Filipino, Hispanic, everything. And sometimes the client expect to speak their language. Otherwise, they won't do business with you. So that's why we have to have staff that speak their language to help them. That help us grow faster.
So what's the organizational structure look like? Like, do you have people managing specific groups? Like, how does it look?
We have different functional group, and every group has a manager. So we have more than a dozen departments, from HR, accounting, licensing, compliance, processing, loan officer, assistant, loan officer, more than a dozen departments to run the company. Wow. It's crazy.
Are there any things head manager does to increase the efficiency of their team?
We keep improving. You won't believe it. We keep ripping up things and change it and improve it. For example, one thing is in the mortgage industry, we have to deal with the bust and the boom. So when rate drop, people refinance. We call that refinance boom. Business pick up crazy, but then we don't have enough worker. We don't have enough processor or underwriter. But then when high rate like this, business doesn't have enough revenue, so they lay off the staff. Our industry is suffering with this all along. There's no solution. So during the pandemic, everyone refinanced.
Right.
And it takes the lender sometimes more than 2 weeks to touch the loan, to underwrite the loan. It's crazy. And it is not acceptable for me and a lot of people. But we didn't have a choice because we don't have enough help. So what happened is during the pandemic, one of my good clients, perfect loan, you know, one house, high salary income and all that, super simple.
Yeah.
And he wanted to refinance. So he sent me the application, all the document, everything ready. 2.5 days later, he called me and said, Thuan, what happened? I sent you the whole thing. 2.5 days, no one called me, no one do anything. And now I got mad. I called my manager, say, hey, what happened? And then my manager told me, Thuan, I'm sorry. We are all at capacity. We are working 14 hours a day, 6 days a week, and we cannot process anymore. And I realized, yeah, that's happened. But then imagine there's a few hundred or 1,000 loans sitting there, you lose so much money, and client got mad at you. So it's a lot of money sitting there, and I might lose that money. The client also mad at me too. I lost my reputation. So I scratched my head and said, there must be a way. There must be a solution. And then all my other broker told me, or lender told me, there's nothing you can do at all. If you want to hire a good loan processor, good luck, you cannot hire them. It's very expensive. Everyone wants to hire easy money, right? A lot of business, but there's not enough worker. But then in order to hire someone new and train them, it takes them 6 months to learn how to process a good loan.
Right.
You know, 2 difficult. And also nobody have time to train. Everyone too busy working, right? So I come up with a solution. We call that assembly line processing. So we break up a processing job into 3 parts: submission, condition, and closing. Assembly line, right? So that way I can hire staff easily. I can hire anyone. I can train them in 2 weeks. Just focus on one thing, do it over and over, then you become an expert. So that's how I can hire so many more, and they can help me process so many loans, and we can close so many transactions. That's how we do things. We never give up. We never accept the problem, and we always try to solve problem. When I see a problem, I want to solve it, and that's why I need the quiet time. I need to figure out how to solve problem.
Yeah. So I want to talk a little bit more about you as a person and why you have built one of the most successful mortgage companies. And I think I want to start with what sets you apart? What makes you different from other people?
I think there's many factors, but my goal is to help a lot of people. I always want to see how far I can go.
Okay.
And that's why I keep pushing myself, pushing everything. And I think I realized the importance of using technology. And luckily, I invest early, and I never stop investing in technology, even during the bad time. You know, many times in the past, when business slow down, we lose money, but I'll never stop investing in technology. You know, like for example, right now, business slow down a lot everywhere. We're losing money, but I would never cut spending money on IT investment and technology.
What's
so
the
I
most...
have over 30 staff building the software. I believe in the long run, the future.
That's a huge investment.
Yeah,
right?
it's a lot of investment. Even I'm losing money. When you make money, it's no problem, right? You can spend that income on investment, you're building the technology. Even in the bad time, I still non-stop investing in technology. That's what makes me different than my competitors. And they cannot catch up with me. They don't have the technology.
What's like the most you've lost in a month in your business?
Probably 100 to 150K a month. The money I make in the past, I can easily tap into it.
Right.
And I can always raise funds if I want to. I choose not to right now because it's not the right time.
It seems like you're very calculated with the risks that you take.
I don't see the risk.
See the risk.
Yeah, it's all investment, and people always need mortgage. And if we have the confidence in our business, in our business model, I'm really confident in my company. What we have is the best. No one can compare against us. We even have a slogan, "We dare you to compare." So we promote that. We tell the client to compare, to shop around. We tell our loan officer to shop around, compare, find out, compare other company versus us. We are better. So we always let people compare. And if anyone come back and say, "Thuan, your rate is not good, your service is slow," any complaint, we fix it. So that we can always hold up our slogan, right? We dare you to compare. Go ahead and compare.
Something that a lot of entrepreneurs will face, especially new ones, is they'll face failures. And I think a lot of people, they go through those failures and then they sort of get bummed out and they stop pursuing entrepreneurship, right? I think that's how a lot of people drop out and then they don't chase the life that they want. Can you tell us about some of the bigger failures you've had, especially at the start, and how you overcame them? And
it's easy to fail. It's easy to give up. But I think the key is we fail, but we have to keep going. Basically, everyone fail. No one successful forever. Everyone fail. But then we need to stand up. We need to find a way to solve the problem. So it happened to me many times too. When I failed, like initially when I told you, when I opened up the business without the experience, without the clients, I worked like that for a year and I failed. Okay. But then I didn't give up. Even though I went back to work for a company as a software engineer, I still do this on the side. I still try to grow it. I still try to bring in the client and learn and become better. So that's one example. And then many more times when in the early period, I hire a lot of people, I train them, I show them everything so that they can help me. They learn everything and then they go out, open up the business, they compete, they even took my client. And I did not have any agreement with them. I should have done that. I say, in case you leave, you cannot not recruit or take any of our staff. They took everyone. It's scary. Imagine I make you a manager. I train you for 2 years. I pay you as a manager. I train you. I show you everything. I allow you to work with other staff and build relationship with staff. And then when you go out, you bring them with you and compete against me. And then my client is know you and the employee. Now they follow you. I don't deal with the client a lot anyway. I have the staff, right? So those are another example that when that happened, it's really bad. Your business just like collapse. Now you have to find other staff, other manager to help you. You lose client. It's painful. It's very painful. Just like 2022 when rate jumped, I was under extreme stress. I have to decide whether I lay off staff or not. And I find no solution. I couldn't find solution to offset offset the expense. And the expense is so much. Hundreds of staff, it's a lot of money.
Yeah.
And business dry up, there's no transaction. So I didn't stop. I keep thinking and find a solution for it. That's why I say in most business, we run into problem. We fail. But if we keep thinking, we find a solution, we can find it. Another advice is sometimes if you can find a solution yourself, if you can fix it, it's good. But if not, then you should find a partner. Find some help. You don't have to do it yourself.
In terms of tax strategy, what are a couple things you do?
What happened for me is, to be honest with you, on my peak, the year that I make the most money, I did not plan well for tax. I talked to a few CPA, but none of them can provide me a good strategy. And I end up paying a lot of tax. I remember that moment when my CPA told me, Thuan, you have to pay this much tax. You know, it's combined like 60%, more than 60%. It's huge.
Yeah.
And I didn't have any strategy to reduce it. So I was shocked because I worked so hard to make that money. And now it's all gone. My account's like empty.
Yeah.
I was shocked. Later on, I realized, I talked to a few other broker or CPA. They told me that, Thuan, you could have done this. For example, that money, you can buy a yacht. You can buy an airplane. And you can fully deduct it. You know, $2 million airplane, deduct the whole thing.
Would you have done that?
Yeah, why not?
Really?
Otherwise, I pay tax. So I can buy an airplane or a yacht, and I can rent it out too. Just like Airbnb, you can rent it out. Charter, you can rent it out. Rather than you lose everything, you pay tax. And then another strategy, they advised me that I can go to Puerto Rico, pay 3% tax on federal, no state tax. It's just amazing. So just a way to lower the tax. That's why the lesson I learned, right? We all learn. But then we have to seek out the answer. We need to find out the right person. You know, sometimes don't take no as an answer. 2 or 3 CPA told me that that's it, nothing I can do. But later on, I discover there's other solution. So that's why we have to keep finding a better solution. Never accept that solution as the best solution. Always find a better. Just like in my business, everything I do, I never happy with the result. I never happy. I keep improving and keep improving. You know, you give me a solution, I can always say that's not the best solution. I want the better solution. So that's make me different than other people.
Was this whole journey of entrepreneurship, was it worth it?
Oh, I love it. I enjoy it so much. It makes me a different person completely. So my life is full of excitement. Every day is something new. Every day is excitement. Like right now, I travel crazy. I am at the end of the already. And then next week, I travel again. I travel crazy. Every month, I travel at least 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
And yeah, I go and see people. I see new place, new thing. I come up with new idea. It's so good right now. And that's why I encourage everyone to be self-employed. You run your business. You make decisions. Every day is excitement. Of course, stress will come with that. But if you can control the situation, it's the heaven. It's good.
Now, is there anything that you would change looking back?
I learned the lesson, then I know. For example, when I have employee, I would ask them to write an employment agreement or contract so that if they leave, they cannot say bad thing about me or about the company, or they cannot solicit their other employee to go with them. You know, think that to protect you and your company. Because think that you build up so hard, it's difficult to build up. You don't want to lose it. The client too, they cannot take the client with them. They cannot solicit the client. There's many things you can do. Like, for example, a lot of people wish they invest in technology early or more. You know, I always thinking, is it enough? 30 staff, is it enough? Or should I spend more money on that? You know, there's always things that I wish I could done better. Always they regret, but I wouldn't worry too much. It happened already. What is more important is looking forward. When I learned business school, and I realized it's so true. You know, whatever happened already, it's sunk cost. It passed. Don't worry. Forget it. Look forward. What our choice now? What can we do now? So instead of focus on the past, we should focus on the future.
Do you want your kids to become entrepreneurs too?
Yes, of course. I have 3 kids, and one of them study business. I hope that she can follow my step.
Do you want mortgage industry, or it can be anything?
Of course, it could be anything, but naturally, probably mortgage.
Is there anything you want to share with immigrants that have come to this country that want to maybe start their own business?
I totally recommend it. That is the best that you can do, because if you, of course, there's only 2 paths, right? Self-employed or working for a company. When you work for a company, you have no upside potential. You might be discriminated. Maybe your English is not good, your accent is not good, or you don't look like them, racial discrimination. There's many problems. And when you get in a little bit older, you get age discrimination. Like in the high-tech industry, when you pass 40 years old, when you get laid off, it's hard to find another job. You know, there's That's a lot of problem. Of course, you have a peace of mind. You don't have to worry. You work 8 to 5 and that's it. But you don't have the freedom. You cannot travel too much. The whole year, you only have 2 to 3 weeks vacation. You know, you're always busy. You have to split between family and work. You cannot focus on your family. But if you are self-employed, it actually is not difficult. In fact, one thing I realized, immigrants like us, a lot of us are do business and they're happy and they are successful too. Like I said, most of the self-employed borrower, they buy house. They run their business, somehow they manage to have enough money to buy house. And you know that when you own a house, you become wealthier. You have equity in the house and you're a lot better off. But if you don't own a home, then you don't have anything because the money in the bank will lose value and you tend to use them all soon. I totally recommend any immigrant to become an owner. Come up with something. I think there's a lot of opportunity too. And also, I see one thing is immigrants tend to support immigrants. So let's say if you are a loan officer or realtor, let's say you're Chinese, then all the Chinese will want to support you. Let's say I'm Vietnamese, then a lot of Vietnamese will support me. And they will not work with a Caucasian or another ethnic group. So at least you get the support from your own community. That's an advantage. I know some of loan officers told me that, oh, I'm Caucasian. Which client I can target? There's no niche for me. But for you and me, we know our niche.
Okay.
You know, we can focus on our niche.
How can the audience learn more about you or follow you? Where can they find you?
Go to Loan Factory. Everyone can go to Facebook and search for my name, Thuan Nguyen. And I love to be out there and help people.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.